as a head of Energy Efficiency Service Limited, so may I know that what kind of efforts you are putting in the new era of renewable energy in this domain?
First of all, I thank HELETS and Punjab Energy Development Agency for conducting this forum, and it's really very enriching. And coming back to the question, and also knowledge sharing on part what EESL is doing. ESL basically is a part of Ministry of Power, and as you know, all know that energy is the life source of everything nowadays. With digitization coming in, and without power, we can't even think of anything because of the very reason we can't even think of charging our mobiles. So, coming back to in India, right now we have more than 43%, I think roughly that figure is there on renewable energy, which is being installed and used. And understanding the part how what we play is very important to understand that when energy is being produced, lot of the raw material which is being used, there is a lot of wastage which occurs. And then the end energy which is produced is basically to the not even to the tune of more than in renewable, it is up to maximum 30 to 40%, which is converted into real energy, and fossil it is up to 80% now. Now, there is where our play come into when we talk about the entire energy scenario, that energy efficiency is very important. And that is where we work on. So, what we see today as the lighting industry, in 2015, ESL introduced LED lamps and tube lights to India. And that has changed the way India lighting lifestyle is today. And from 100 watt incandescent bulb that we were lighting, we have shifted to a 9 watt LED bulb. So straight away, the saving of energy is 90% there. CFL came in and it could not, and CFL was more on disposing of CFL, it was very harmful to the health. So one part is there. And then we, in the current scenario, with lot of renewable energy focus and the commitments that India has, and the focus towards 2030, the first milestone, and then 2070, the final goal of net zero. It's we are looking at new and innovative way to bring in more and more adaptability to the products which can save energy and at the same time also consume, can be run by all forms of energy. So like sir and my co-colleague shared, one of the areas that ESL has worked with the digitization process is smart metering and then e-mobility. And now we are expanding, say, horizontally all these products. So smart metering is going into electric vehicle charging system so that you can calculate what kind of energy is being consumed and how much charging power is there. And at the same time, in electric vehicle now, we are going up, thinking of up to the last mile. So there are four parts where vehicles are used in India. One is your passenger car, which is, and then you have the commercial and the public transport, and then you have very individualistic, which is the two-wheeler section. So ESL has formed a subsidiary called Convergence Energy Services Limited, which particularly focus on the e-mobility part. And recently, with demand aggregation across the state, we have received a demand of more than 15,000 electric buses, which we are going to deploy within this year. We have also been speaking to a lot of rural Anganwadi, Asha workers, Seva, and all that, these kind of livelihood missions, where we came to know that generally they have to take public transport, and ladies are working here. So they needed a safe transport and an efficient transport. And after studying everything, we came to know that there is a two-wheeler requirement which they can comfortably travel 10 to 12 kilometers, because that's the distance in a village which they have to travel. So we were getting into e-cycle. Now e-cycle in current scenario is something which has got very broad tires. It's kind of a moped which was there in early stages in India. So we are now trying to make it more towards the cycle part, which we generally know as which you can even pedal. So that is one part we are doing. And at the same time, we are also working. So one of the major contributors to and consumption of energy happens by after LED lights is the fans. In India, the fans are mostly run more than 15, 16 hours every day in most of the households. So we are getting into very energy efficient fans. So in Indianizing, we have first launched the digital technology called BLDC, brushless direct current fans. But that is was found to be not being taken off because it was costly, and also there was that there is very much voltage fluctuation which at times hampers the functioning of the fan. So now we are making the fan which was earlier running at say 120 watt, it came down to 70 watt. Then 5 years back we introduced a 50 watt energy efficient fan, and I must say uh, a lot of support came from PEDA also, because they have deployed these fans across most of the government schools with LED lights. And it has been one of the key milestones which has helped ESL achieve what it is today. So now the fans which we are introducing is from 28 watts to 40 watts. So 28 to 35 watt would be the BLDC category, which is 5-star fan. And beyond 35 to 42 watts, it would be again a 3-star fan, but still it is going to be 20% more efficient with the current energy efficient fans. Now, and from fans, we are also now moving to promoting, and I have my partners also who are outside Finovista. Them we are launching across India the electric cooking, which is basically clean cooking. When most of the time I talk about e-mobility or electric cooking or fans, so that's why it's important to be energy efficient, because still we are using lots of fossil fuel to the residential supply. Without thermal consumption, we cannot do that. So it is very important that we have energy efficient system. And if I say clean cooking, the induction is a very clean cooking medium, but it becomes efficient only because when we talk, even the LPG is under the clean cooking area. But what happens, there is loss of wastage. The flame above is on the utensils, but the flame below is not being utilized. But in induction, when you do, it has a flat surface and you have flat utensils, and the heat is same all across the plate. So the cooking and energy is very efficient in that, and it is also faster. And similarly, we are going to launch electric pressure cooker. And the only thing which you cannot do in that is make chapatis. Otherwise, you can even fry things, and all Indian cooking can be done in that. The few initiative and taking the next level, why it should get adopted. As you have seen, government had launched Ujjwala scheme, and it has been a very successful. More than 8 crore household got the cylinders and gas stove. Still, the utilization which has come out of survey is not what we looked at as government. So what we have done is we have tried to introduce solar induction cooking. So this we will be focusing in the rural areas where you have problem of regular power supply, so that the solar cooking is there. So there we are attaching the solar panel, the induction cook stove, and battery backup. So these are the few initiative for new generation. But my whole idea of explaining the entire program set was just because it's the most important player in energy to become good and clean is that it should be efficiently used. Thank you.